Alright guys, so if your shifter doesn't work and you're getting a U code or you're getting a 1701 code, or um, your shifter's not working, speedometer's not working, gas gauge not working properly, and a bunch of other things, if it's not revving right. In my previous video I talked about how I drilled the hole through the plastic and the TCM. Just use a normal nut, bolt, another nut behind to hold it, 12 gauge wire. I use like a similar adapter to this. Stretch it all the way around. I sanded the paint off of the body. Took the shock bolt out, just one of them. And I connected that 12 gauge ground to the TCM into the shock, into the body. And for me, that helped me. But I was getting through a problem where the shifter solenoid would just mess up. The locks would mess up, the keys would mess up, and a bunch of other things. So some guy asked me, he wanted to know where are the grounds located and what grounds to specifically clean. So as you can tell, so this is the front of the car. You go all the way right behind the coolant reservoir. You can go in here and see the camera. There is a ground right here. Yeah, that's all. That's cool and all. You can take that out and clean that and try that out. There's another ground if you're facing the engine. Sorry, my camera's just not. Alright, when you're facing the engine, there's another ground where your intake manifold is, right over to the right side, right here to be specific. There's this wire that stretches right here and connects as you go. It's pretty much this wire right here. So, you got your coil pack, your fourth coil pack, which is connected to this harness. And there's another, this wire right here, extends back. Really can't see it because, right there. You see that? That right there. It's another ground. But the ground that gives you all the troubles is actually this one right here. So this is the one you need to take out. Let's say you checked every single one, the code's still there, which it will be. This oil housing right here. There's a series, there's a whole set of wires which is connected to a really thick harness. And then you have this bolt right here. So oil filter here, I'm gonna try to get my phone down there as much as I can. Hold on. Right here where my finger is at. So this nut right here, which is a 15 millimeter, take that out and you're gonna have a thick ground, which is gonna have about five ground wires connected into one. What happens is those go bad. And the shifter solenoid, if you look straight into where your transmission cap is, behind your transmission cap, right here, you see where that plastic is right here? If you go a little further where that plastic is, That's where your shifter solenoid is at. Your not solenoid, sorry, your shifter sensor is at. Your safety sensor, your neutral position sensor. Neutral, yeah. Neutral position, whatever the fuck that sensor is called. For some reason they have like 2-3 names. But yeah. Don't change that. Don't buy that. That's a waste of money. What you're going to do is you're going to have to check this wire out, and you're going to see green corrosion. That, or you might even see a wire that's 1 or 2 ground wires that are just disconnected, in which was my case. And this took me forever to find. And regardless if you put this TCM ground right here, you gotta understand this harness is a super thick harness, and it's got 5 or 6 ground wires to it for some reason, which is dumb. And another thing is, I put a zip tie here because what's gonna happen is, alright, for some reason the audio cut out when I was explaining this harness right here. This harness right here. So what's gonna happen is, what I was saying was the oil housing and the way this was engineered. This harness, which is one of the thickest harnesses in this car, rubs against the oil housing. And when it gets hot, what it does is it completely corrodes and cooks through these wires, these set of colored wires. So you want to check this harness, and that's the reason why I zip tied it. I zip tied it here, here, and down there to, you know, make sure not only this harness doesn't get cooked, but the other harnesses in the future stay nice. I also, you know, just taped it. You can use a series of piping techniques, and you may need to do that. I had this motor changed. I actually replaced it myself. It had no compression. These are direct injection motors. They're not dual injection. I always suggest, if you ever buy a car, buy dual injection, because that way the valves clean themselves. But yeah, that's a different topic. If you guys need help in understanding that issue with these cars, let me know. Chain issues or any other issues, let me know. But yeah, so I was just explaining where the three, so pretty much an overview and summary. There's a ground right here, 10 millimeter. That's a 10 millimeter right here, which I showed. This one's a 15 millimeter. You want to take that 15 millimeter out, that 15 millimeter bolt out, and check it out. You may want to zip tie this too. And if, in my case, this was cooked and corroded, clean that out. Clean that out, check it, splice it, make sure the connections are nice and solid for this harness. The neutral safety switch sensor, you know, in order to shift out of park or reverse or whatever, it has to do with this ground right here, as I explained already. Just take this 15 millimeter out, check that out, and yeah, your car should be back to normal. For some reason, this is how they made the 2.2 motors, the Chevy 2.2 Eco motors. Hope that helps you out, man. But yeah, if you guys need any other help with this type of motor, any other issues with the motor, with the sensors, with the starter, with the flywheel, with the whatever it is, just comment down below. Like I said, I replaced this motor myself. You know, not everyone is fortunate enough to go fix their cars at a shop and get thousands of dollars just taken away from their pockets. You know, if you put your mind to it, you can do it yourself. But yeah, hope that helps. like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever it is you guys want to do. Thank you, and God bless.